Hello again, and welcome to Unit 12 of the Connect Me series, Resource Pack 3, Celebrate Your Street Together. This time we're looking at fundraising. Nothing is cheap, nothing is free, although often we can find ways of making things happen. But when we do need to raise money, particularly at the moment, it's not always straightforward. So under the current situation of COVID, how has that affected business sponsorship and how can we respond to that?
Yeah, I popped that in because one of the techniques for fundraising, one of the ways in which we might raise some funds for a community project, would have been and has been for School and Meter projects in the past to go to local businesses and say, 100, 200, if you do this, you'll get this great presence in the street, this wonderful feel good. It will probably boost, your footfall. There's a really good connection, historic connection between your street and our street and your business. How about it? Now, in the context of COVID, particularly with small independent businesses, I'm wondering whether we might be, as streets, as residents, as community, flipping that on its head a little bit. It's just an invitation really to stop and have a little think about that. Maybe it's still appropriate, and your larger businesses, Tesco's, certainly have a community manager who actively helps with community projects, and those details are in the pack. But for your local independent businesses, might you want to consider adopting one? Maybe you've got someone on your street who runs one, and maybe you could turn it into a bit of a fundraiser to actually pop it the other way around, just as a response to this crisis right now. Yeah.
So the community, so the community kind of almost pays back or celebrates their independent retailers in some sort of way.
Pay a little bit backwards.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that sprung to my mind is there's always that feeling of in-kind help that is always part of kind of negotiations with certainly for theatrical projects. It's, we'll do this, we might mention you in our publicity, but, could we borrow your room? Or, would you be prepared to, in kind, let us, have a couple of sandwiches every now and again, or that sense of really active support of, so it's not money, but it's stuff that this business or these people specialize in, whether it's paper or a reduced rate for printing, perhaps, all of those sorts of things. So I think those sorts of looking for in-kind is a useful way of making.
Yeah, it's a very asset-based way of working, particularly if you've got a local business on your street or near your street. And it's about relationships. It's all about connection. Come back to that word. It's all about connection and relationships, and businesses are people too. And have a really good start building up that good relationship.
And it's having the confidence to have the conversations.
Yeah.
Which is what all of this is about.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So fundraising, we think we know what it means. In this context, what does fundraising mean, and do I have to do it?
I'll answer the second part first. No, you don't have to. If you've got those assets on your street, if you can be completely asset-based, that's the best place to be. If you're reusing, upcycling, recycling, borrowing, making use of what's there, that's the green way. That's best for your environment. That's best for your economy. That's the most bonding way to be. That's the most connecting way to be. So no, you don't have to. It's only when you've reached one of those trigger points when you're going to be creating something a bit special, something that needs a bit of professional input, that real gloss. That you might think, if we only had another 500 for that, that's going to be such a special thing on the end of our street. That's going to be amazing. So in that case, then it comes in sort of categories. So business sponsorship might have been one, but I would ask people to be sensitive to that during COVID. The next is your local authority, and your course unit will go through this. So I think the underpinning concept again, the underpinning concept is there's always more than one way of fundraising. People tend to think, oh, fundraising is just stand there with a thing and shake a collection box at people. Actually, there's a wide range, and the best way to fundraise is using a wide range of techniques. So go back to the unit, they're listed there, and remember, it's more than about just shaking a box at people and collecting money that way.